Assembly. Constitution Assembly first meeting was held in 9th December of 1946. In this day, your Dr. Sachindra Sinha, he became a temporary head of this committee, while in 11th December of 1946, the permanent head became Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And yeah, some other like vice president were there, like H.C. Mukherjee and V.T. Krishnamacharya. Then came your objective resolution, the first preamble. This is the thing which is prior to preamble. Objective resolution. This was formed in 13th December of 1946 by your Jawaharlal Nehru. It laid down the fundamental and philosophical constitution structure, basically the preamble, whole thing, framework. Then this consists of assembly declared as India independent, sovereign and republic. So this assembly declared India as Sir Jawaharlal Nehru as sovereign, own decision making, independent, you are not under anybody rule, and republic means like there is the head, which is like republic means like the head is elected by the people, and yeah, then came your Independence Act of 1947. This Independence Act said that our whole Indian constitution is fully sovereign, like we can take our own decision. And Independence of Act 1947, increasingly state who had stayed down gradually joined. Uh, on April 28th, 1947, representation of six states. These six states are these republic of like these six states were your Banda, Banada, Bikaner, Bikaner, Jaipur, Udaipur, Patiala, and your Riva. These are the six states. These six states, like in April, represented which were assembling accepted the Mountbatten Plan on the June most princely state took over there. Like these six states were earlier under princely state, which were earlier 93, and like these six states joined under the Mountbatten Plan, like Banda, Bikaneri, Jaipur, Udaipur, then Patiala, then Rewa. Mountbatten Plan, and this is second part of the Constitution Assembly. Then, yeah, fully sovereign body, as I told you, And like in this Constitution Assembly, two major roles were there. First was lawmaking, second was making of the Constitution. Making of the Constitution. So lawmaking was given to I think so G.V. Malvikar, and Constitution making of the Constitution is given to your obviously Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So these are the two function of this. And like when the Constitution meeting assembly was held, the like the like the bill received for this, like the whole Independence Act of 1947 was received by July of 4th of 1947, and the royal assent was given in your 18th of July of 1947. So this is Independence Act, the whole thing, and the royal assent, royal farman. Now the like like how from the Muslims were like 73 from like 390 398 3 sorry 389 seats were there, right? So from 389 the 73 were won by Muslim League, right? So now these Muslim League guys, they wanted a like two constitution assembly. This was their whole their whole idea behind the constitution assembly. They weren't separate from Muslims, but Indians and the Britishers at the time said they would only form one constitution assembly. So in protest, these areas which I'm not gonna name now, Sulet, uh, which is in Assam, Sulet, Assam, like Sulet, then Baghdad, Balochistan, then Sindh, then northeast west frontier, basically the India, this region, northeast west frontier, then East Bengal, like this side, Bangladesh, then West Punjab. West mean like a little west, where are the now Indian territory of Punjab. West Punjab. These six area went and form a new country on their 73 votes, and that is the Pakistan. Yeah, and the 93 princely states, which were like princely states are those which have a hereditary part in them, are now got reduced to 70, and the 296 out of which 292 were 11 provision and 4 was the 4 provision ABCD, Ajmer, Balochistan, Coorg and Delhi. These shifted towards a drastic number of 229. So now the princely states were only remaining 70, and this is also around 1947. So yeah, you could see over there. So this was all going on at the time, and like to sustain India, the at that time the executives, you could say, or you could say the legislative or judiciary, everybody, they thought of like forming basically major committees, and India at that time formed 8 major committees. And these major committee, if you want to learn them, there's a simple and easy step, which is first of all write state/union. So like whatever committee start from state and union, that is under your Jawaharlal Nehru. And the other committee, sorry the other two which are starting from steering, as like how you steer the car, your car wheel, sorry, the car like the steering you do, steering wheel. What the flip happened? What heck did my this code? Uh, okay. Steering wheel, like steering committee and the rule committee. These two committee came. You would write your Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Dr. Rajendra Unions and State Jawaharlal Nehru Steering and Rule Committee and Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Now you could imagine a Sikh committee person as your Sardar Patel. He's trying to help the tribal community. So the tri- uh, tribal and he's giving them advisory. These two committees were under your Sardar Patel, and one major committee which everybody know is drafting committee, which is under your Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now, drafting committee, and yeah, we have done. So, like state and union, I will just read you out. Union of the Constitution Committee, Union of Power Committee. So there are two union, and steering is one. Then rule of procedure committee is one, and the state committee is one. Then your steering is one, then union is two, then drafting committee is one, then tribal is one. This is one two. So two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. So eight, as I told you, eight were the major committees. So these are the eight major committee. I just comprise them and just remember these four things, and you can easily answer them. Now, if you know this much, now they would can ask you on basis of like minor committees too. Like they would ask this in a higher examination, but you should know this much only. This much only. So the finance committee, finance, not only finance and staff committee. These two, sorry, this one only is under your Dr. Rajendra Prasad, as I told you earlier. Then credential committee. So creditational means like credit. You are giving interest on that. So you are giving interest to your like Indian mythology. There is a god called Krishna. You can give that to Krishna god. So the wait, Credential committee is under Aladdin, Aladi Krishna Swami Iyer. So Krishna, as I told you. Now House Committee. Now for House Committee, you could remember, is it like how uh, Sita and Ram are also god. They are husband and wife, and they, if you are having a husband and wife, you would have a good house. So House Committee would be under your B Pattavai Sita Ramaya. Ramaya. So this is that. Now business. Now, if you talk about business, like the older term for business guy is Munshi. So the business was like under K. Munshi. You could remember as that. Now, the if I had to tell you more, yeah, this is more. This is also a bit easy. Linguistic means language. Linguistic provisions. So linguistic. If you don't know any language in other another country, if you're traveling, then you will feel fear. In Hindi, fear means dar, dar. So you could remember as dar and just put sk ahead, sk dar. This he was the linguistic provisions committee as the under the minor committee. And yeah, these are the more major one. Now, as you can remember, I told you drafting committee under Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Now, this committee is very important, and in like here we study this more in more depth, and yeah. So this committee was formed in your August of 29th of 1947. So I can remember this month because it's my date, like my birth month. But you could remember as 29th of August of 20, sorry, 29th of August of 1947. And yeah, so as you know, in the major committee there were 8 major committee. In the drafting committee there were only 7 members. 7 members, right? So now again the Krishna Bhagwan thing. So like first of all, you could have, there are two Krishna in this committee. First is Krishna Macharya, Aladdin Krishna Macharya Swami Iyer. Then you have T Krishna, double T Krishna, this is the second guy. Now the Krishna have, like, every god have a song which is related to in like every, like in every religion, supposedly a Jesus, like how many songs are based on Jesus, right? So like in Krishna Bhagwan, as Krishna god, there are many songs based on him, right? And in those song you call like it Krishna, Gopal, Swami, and Madhav, right? So you could call, there is one Gopal in this committee, Gopala. Gopala bolo, Madhav bolo. So Madhav is also here. So Madhav Rao and Gopal Swami Iyer. Suppose it, by his name I am guessing he is from south side of India, from here. This is Gujarat. This is northeast. So yeah, so this is so I have told you two name, Krishnamacharya, TT Krishna, Gopala Swami Iyer, Madhav Rao. Now the guy which I told you for business is also here, which is KM Munshi. So he is also here, he's from for business. Now the main guy himself would also be the part of this drafting committee, which is your Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and your one only one Muslim name is here, which is, he was a pretty big part of this drafting committee, as uniting the Indian Muslims inside of India, as his name is Said Mohammad Sadullah. But I have remember his name as SMS. So yeah, you could remember as that. So if you don't know the counting, but here is the Krishnamacharya. Wait, okay, here is the Krishnamacharya 1, Krishna 2, then Gopala, Madhav, Munshi, then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, then Saeed Mohammad Sadullah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 members. And this drafting committee was formed in August of 29th of 1947. You should remember this much. And this is very important if you want to know this. Now, earlier in the afternoon, I would say, one guy was asking me about some, like, how is like US Constitution similar to Indian Constitution. So if he is watching now, so If not, I think he can just watch it like in the video. But there's a basic difference. So first I would tell you evolved and enact. What is the difference? So evolved, like our species as homo sapiens, we evolved, right, from the apes and all that, right? So that is evolved, you developed over time. This only would happen when you are this would only happen when you are like not under any country, like no, nobody is able to capture you and you are living freely. And enact would be happening when you got captured and you are just getting independent and you don't have time to like make your own rules and all that, so you start borrowing from other countries. That is enact. So in evolved, you could remember as British, because they were the only one who were capturing every country. And enact, you could write as America and India. Now, written and unwritten. Written and unwritten. This is written and unwritten. So India have like 420 articles. So basically we would be written, right? We can't just have unwritten on this many articles. So like what you do is, like in the written one, there are like USA, even though they have like only 9, then Canada, Japan, France, then India. And unwritten, there would be only like New Zealand, then UK, United Kingdom, then Israel. Now, rigid and flexible. So, rigid and flexible. So, first of all, rigid. Rigid constitution is that constitution which is like there is like no, nothing can be changed in that. It is permanent. And this like as if this only be on like evolved type of constitution. So evolved, we gave an example of United Kingdom and your New Zealand. So these are only the two example, there might be more, but I'm just naming the prominent one. Now flexible is the one which have like flexibility in terms of like it can change its constitution. So the example is Australia and Switzerland. Now, if you ask where is India, here above, I always give you an example of India, while I didn't give you an example of India in this one, because the reason is this, that India is neither rigid, neither flexible. We are in between, because like we can change our constitution structure, not structure, but like some articles and all that, with the help of some constitution amendments. But the thing is this, that we need a constitution amendment that need to go through the whole the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, then it to change. So it is like a like between thing. And if you remember, if I told you, sorry, I told you on the Article 32 that it is the soul and heart of the Constitution, and it can't be changed. So that is also a rigid part of a constitution, and constitution amendment is also a flexible part of a constitution, so it makes us in between. Now federal and unitary. Federal mean like there's a division of power, like Panchayati Raj as 73rd the Constitution Amendment Act of 1992, as municipality as 74th Constitution Amendment Act of 1992. So these are some example of federalism. And unitary is like your union and then state, right? Now federalism, is that now the unitary is like only their union is the head, and they are performing their duty from there. Now, parliamentary system is also called as Winchester model of the government because, like Westminster model, this is like can be called to Indian Constitution because, like it is like derived from British Parliament location, and not derived, but this is British Parliament. It is at Winchester, and in Constitution was like enacted from like various parts of that, and they just took that as like it could be said that that is the whole thing. Now, if I have to go ahead, 64th Constitution of 1988. Okay. Now, yeah, the symbol at that time, symbol for Constitution Assembly at the time was elephant. Then advisory of the Constitution Assembly was B.N. Rao Rao giving advice. Rao की के Rao है. Then Secretary of Constitution Assembly was H.V.R. Iyengar. लेट लिख के सेक्रेटरी जॉब कर रहा भाई. और B.N. Rao दे रहा एडवाइस दे रहा. Then calligraphy was in English done by Beshav Beshar Ram Manohar. Then in Hindi was done by Krishna Vaidya, and this font is in italic, and decorations was done by Nanda Lal Bose. Preamble is sovereign own decision making, socialist, there should be no heredity part, secular, one dharma, democratic, there is a democracy and the MLA and the head are elected, then republic, as our head is elected and all that, that is the whole thing. Democrat is a democracy, so this is SSS DR, and this is important. First is sovereign, then socialist, then secular, then democratic, then republic. Sovereign mean own decision making. First you will take decision, then you would be socialist as work doing for social work, then secular, one dharma, then democratic, then republic. And objective of constitution is justice, liberty, and fraternity. Horoscope of the Constitution के मुंशी Constitution Pandit Rao Thakur. Identity card and Nepal ki Vara. Then keynote is Asteroid Breaker. Now, if I have to tell you this, that at the time of the preamble, there were some cases, right? First is Beru Bari case. This case happened in 1960, and this case, the whole thing was the East Bengal. At the time of 1960, we were trying to make it free, as of you could say in that terms, but Pakistan was saying that you can't take on your own decision, and decision thing what I told you is sovereign. And he said this word is written, but this is in your preamble, which is not a part of your constitution, so you can't take decision on that. But we deny that. But they were right at the time. So Berubari case happened, and then the Golaknath case, the same thing. But the Keshwananda Bharti case, Keshwananda Bharti case of 1973. When this thing happened, at Keshwananda Bharti case, the basic thing what changed was that we took preamble as our integral part of the constitution. It is kind of a law type of thing. That is the part I'm trying to say, like how their articles are out there and all that. So it became that kind of thing. Okay, now I need to do all the articles, and I'm gonna do that by my own.